Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final of the AIF Blitzkrieg tournament. I'm Lieutenant CF Fuzzled from the AIF. With me, I've got LT90, also from the AIF. How you doing tonight, mate?
Excellent. Looking forward to the game that's going to be coming at hand.
Good to hear, and it should be an absolute classic of a match here on Southern Approach on Foy between AIF Beersheba and HFKT. Tell us a little bit about AIF Beersheba 90, obviously as their lieutenant.
So, AIF Beersheba are essentially the strong arms of the AIF clan, and we feature a lot of the brute strong muscle inside the clan within itself, which obviously will play out massively for this game and how it's going to go.
Yeah, I'd like to disagree with you, but I obviously can't because you guys in the finals and Alamein are not.
Yeah, that's exactly why.
We'll have a brief talk about HFKT now. So, what have you seen from them in the past couple of weeks in this tournament?
HFKT with their matches so far, they haven't. I'm not sure how many matches they've won so far. Comes to mind, but they're a very solid, strong team, and how they play and how they conduct their play is just phenomenal.
Very much so. What I've noticed from watching both of their victories, their only loss has actually been against Beersheba, is just the amount of suffocating pressure that they can bring, and it's something that I'm actually quite scared about here as an AIF fanboy going into this match. Just the amount of pressure they can bring on such an open map with the MG42 and their playstyle. I really think it will wreak havoc. What about you, Nighty? What do you think?
It certainly will. Obviously, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Most points will be decided on how quickly either side could make it to the actual point. And watching how HFKT start their games off, it is very, very quick and rapid.
And that's something that Beersheba don't sleep on either, though. So we should see some good early engagements here from both sides.
Yep, seems like they'll be getting it on pretty early.
Yep. Oh, and here we go.
Yep, and we're off and going. No, it's pretty much the same run-up that they've had before. I do not doubt their capabilities of having great for fighting potential.
And we're seeing just a six-man push off each garrison for HFKT here. So quite familiar to their strategy in the last game, which I unfortunately had to suffer through.
Don't worry, Fuzz, I had you at the back there as well, mate.
And for AIF Beersheba over here, it's looking like we've got a 4-7-4 split or 6 split over here. So slightly weighted towards that northeastern side. However, here we'll set up for the first contact here and take in some shots.
Yep, I assume that Beersheba will be trying to make that main push towards the building that's just outside the trenches to stage from, and then also then move into the trenches, which is a strong idea. That is a very hard point to fight from.
Oh, 100%. With Foy being so open here, and German MG up, and the first shots are being fired.
Yep. It's off and going. It's pretty impressive too to see from the east side of the map of Beersheba's actual spread along that snow line.
And we're seeing casualties from both sides here.
Yep. It seems as though that Beersheba has the actual upper hand in this fight at the moment, but it can switch at any time.
It does, so you've still got that machine gun up in the middle, and you've got it up on the right hand side as well with fried chicken here.
Yep, so the eastern side of the map has pretty well been cleared out by Sheba. Yep. There's only one person left up there, our machine gunner.
If we check here in the western side though, good contact here with Pain Squad, taking out fried chicken on the machine gun. Although guys are already coming back off that OP they've got placed there, and that squad has been completely wiped from their position.
Yep. So Beersheba have now moved into the trenches, so that will allow them to have a very strong grounding, even though they're not aware of the fact of that if they eventually push out of those trenches, they'll be stomping straight on HFKT's OPs.
100%.
And in the true fashion of 18v18 game meta, OPs are the way the game is won.
Both squad leads down here in the western side. Looks like Beersheba Company has got complete dominance over the eastern side though, however.
But to note, up in the top side of the map, Beersheba placed down a cheeky wall for their MG to focus up on, which will cover that whole western side approach, or western side angle in the top part of the map. It's perfect placement.
And that is a great placement there. However, Fortune does get it just right there. Unfortunately, one thing
Very risky trying to run through that field. Obviously, this map will be played by running down those snow lines.
Ooh, Jacob takes out two.
We've got a cheeky flank from the north by Tism. This is what his standard play is. He'll try and keep quiet, run around behind, and see as much damage as he can cause while maintaining as much stealth as possible.
That man is a laser of a shot right there.
He certainly is.
I think the only reason he doesn't play recon is just because he hates running that much.
And crawling, sir.
Very true, very true.
Beersheba in the north have got another wall up as well in a sort of triangle fashion, which is perfect for that MG to set up. He can laze those targets to great effect.
Yep. Especially here when they're facing the disadvantage of the grounding at 1919 compared to the MG42. Any little bit helps.
Yep, that's for sure thing. The Mr. Old Browning shoots like a complete laser.
Interesting to see though, it's been 4 minutes and there's still been no capital.
The only way this is going to really tilt towards Beersheba's favour if they actively push out or get some sort of grenade fire or AT rockets towards HFKT and clear that garrison out in the middle.
They've got
garrison OP
there in the middle. They've just put up a second wall behind one. They have marked that Tyson is behind them as well, so they do know about him. However, Beersheba have taken the middle point completely, but this fight on the just behind it to the northeastern side, as well as the northwestern side, is still going on.
Yep, so HFKT trying to dig in deep in the middle there. Beersheba slowly starting to make a push out the middle, but note too that the southern side attack has been completely wiped.
And the northern
Beersheba side.
Northern side is quite Beersheba as well. Their open is gone. That's a long walk to that. And they're just pouring pressure across that field with Padawan and fried chicken there. Great shot.
This could be turning. This is not a good situation for Beersheba if actually HFKT clears them out.
Not at all, not at all. You see Leodas here putting up a second wall. Have noticed that HFKT do love their buildable structures, especially in the last game with barbed wire. I wonder if we'll see more in play here.
That's certainly it.
Coming to the centre now, it's almost full control to HFKT here. A very solid push.
But to note too, the squad leader Watchman's in there, and this is his favourite honey hole in this map. He will completely wipe squads if he gets the chance.
OP goes down with 2 spawning on it there though. That's a perfect nade there by, I believe, fried chicken as well.
We see Tism in the back line. He is definitely putting in some work. Obviously he would have carried out the location of the OP, and hopefully you might see some sort of push or degree of that. But hats off to HFKT, they're holding that position quite well.
Well, we did just see a mass spawn wave coming from Beersheba here. Casualties look pretty even.
Yep.
This is something, again, looking at the northern side again, that HFKT do so well. They're holding 2 guys, they're holding up 5 men.
That's it.
And a squad lead as well. Like, this is something they do very well, minimal numbers to get maximum results.
So what we see on the field is different to what we see up in the air for sure.
100%.
Looks like Beersheba is starting to bring back access towards those trenches. Old Mr. Swifty is holding on for his life. I'd be doing the same thing as just proning down and taking out those opportunistic shots on people who peek.
Yep, they've reclaimed the trenches in the middle of the point. Still...
Anger and Swifty could be shaking hands right now. Oh, and Swifty goes down.
No cap yet. God, we're what, 7, 8 minutes in?
This is, yeah, it's very well control.
I'm interested to see here what Tyson does up against Shangang in here. He's coming behind him. Don't know why he's going to go possibly to...
So Beersheba's just turned the map. Hopefully the squad leads are alive and they'll be able to get down their OPs. It looks like we've got 2 HFKT in the north having to come back off the garrison, but that could also be a plan to try and flank around Beersheba and take out the OPs.
I believe so, sending an MG and a medic out there. You know, it's quite a good combination. Garrison Ford gets up his OP.
That's excellent play by him.
And let's see if Mugshot over here in the north. I don't believe
Solid
he has.
AT rocket out.
No, the only OP on the map at the moment is Garrison Ford's.
That's a bit risky play considering the whole game meta is ran off by OPs.
100%, 100%.
We're hoping Mugshot is on resupply with his OP and just holding out till then. Oh, Mugshot just died, or however it goes along the lines of.
That is a big loss.
Yep.
Having a squad
That's a
leader
big
coming off
hurt.
Garrison that could be 40 seconds away. That takes him out of play for the next minute, if not more.
If we take a quick zoom to squad leader Major Payne, he's been old cheeky man and used the OP to get on top of one of the big hay bales for the vantage with the binos.
I love his work there.
He'll be relaying information on.
That really will come in handy in such a flat map like this. There's not a lot of defilade for people to hide in. Just got to run out in the field.
That's exactly right. It's a very hard map. Pay attention that northern side, Beersheba Bot John squad, they've set up another triangle wall defense, which is an excellent play.
Great strategy, slowly moving up the defenses with them.
Yep, they've got the trenches to the right that they can use to defend and hold into, which is perfect.
What I would like to see though is Major Payne squad taking those trenches that Mugshot's crew just held and forcing them back, almost using their little triangle, the same as what John's has.
That's exactly right. They definitely need to push up into that long building and capture that and hold on to that for dear life.
Now focusing in over here on Samori, one of our favourites in the AF, he's just pouring fire into that OP. He's got a direct line of sight. By a little look over his shoulder, on that peak, it's his Daka.
Good old Samori, fresh from the pub, reckons he can waste as much ammunition as he possibly can. He'll be loving it right now.
Got panic on the as well, putting a lot of hurt.
That's it, using that bazooka as a mini artillery piece is the way to go. He's got balls of steel, but his head gets taken off, but absolute balls of steel standing in front of the machine gun in the open field.
Just another one of their classic triangles in the middle. Again,
that's the go.
Quite cheap.
This is excellent play to see in an 18v18 scenario.
Garrison
Obviously,
Ford, OP's down. Can he stay alive?
This is going to be interesting.
Yep, so you've got Big Fly's OP just behind him. So it's not a total loss if he goes down.
There's a bit how you going play to see the engineer William raining on the main road, and Garrison just went down. That is not good. That's off to play the situation that HFKT has been up against this whole match. It's been impressive to see how they've been handling with it.
So if I just go behind Beersheba here, you can see complete dominance of map control. The only part that they maybe don't have as tight a grip as they like is in that northwest sector, which has been a thorn in their side for the whole game.
Yep, that's exactly right.
And you can kind of see, especially in the eastern side, how it's played out, because you do have these triangles. They gained it there, gained the tree line, moved up, the same thing, and now they're planning on doing it again.
Yep, good spread of Sheba blokes pushing in through the other side of the map in my position. But it's going to be very interesting to see how that Major Payne squad deals with the HFKT guys that are currently set up in the buildings.
Yes. I wouldn't say this is the priority skirmish here, but it's definitely one that they need to take care of.
But to take note too, if you can draw a whole squad away from the actual area of engagement, that's what you need to do.
100%.
It's another 6 players that can't fight. Payne squad just needs to dig in here. A bit of a risky situation. The fact is that they're OP, they have to cross an open field to actually get to that long building. It'd be interesting to see how that plays out, but they're doing well to hold on.
Yep, and as you can see, Mugshot's crew, they entrench in these buildings. It's going to be an absolute pain trying to remove them here.
Yep.
Ooh, and Django's down.
It appears as though the...
That's crucial right there. And another one quickly falls next to him.
Yep. Interesting to note too that Beersheba haven't actually actively pushed up towards the HFKT position inside the forest area where Garrison Ford is. They're holding strong exactly where they need to be.
I feel like they'll do it in stages. They'll push where Garrison Ford was positioned out of and McFly's squad were positioned out of the initial assault. But to do that, they need to clear Mugshot's crew over on the northern side. If they do get there, Mugshot's crew will just fall down on them and take them completely out.
Yep, so we look over towards the back lines of HFKT. Tism is absolutely causing carnage in the back line.
I don't know how he does it.
He's a sneaky sir himself.
100%, especially if he can get this squad lead here. Look, they pull back 2 guys just to deal with instant win there. They've got 3 men to deal with 1 AOF guy.
That's exactly right, and he goes down.
I think we.
But it's good to see as well that McFly has pulled back people to instantly deal with the threat instead of letting it carry on and on and on.
100%. And he survived with his OP intact.
That's exactly right.
So it again looks like HFKT going for that wide flank. Well, actually, they've got Mugshot pinned down behind his garrison.
That is not a very good situation to be in.
He goes. So he does he's just trying to get some relief for his guys.
We just see too that Major's Pain squad almost lost control of that long building, and you can say that it is still a very tense situation to see who's going to get control of that flank. If HFKT can push back up to that building, capture that building, then push up that snowbank, it's going to be a very how-you-going situation.
Even if they can capture that trench and pour some fire into the middle there, like give
that's exactly right.
Squads of I assume it's a mid squad, a little bit of a breather.
Yep, that's
although, it's looking here like they've got some more concentrated numbers. They've sent 2 squads up here instead. So they're having a token.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting situation to see how this goes forward. It looks very well even in how the people are positioned.
Yeah, again,
so on and so
Payne
forth.
is just up there wreaking havoc. Just with the random binoculars, he's handily stopping this push. And another one goes down. The medic goes down.
That's it. He's got the high ground. He has the position to look out, see where their troop movements are coming from. It's interesting to see how that no one has actually noticed he's up there, considering that you'd assume that they'd know the OP is there. They haven't actually been able to address that issue yet.
It's like trying to tag off with someone, keep the OP further forward. That's actually what I'd like to see. I know he's an absolute crack shot, but God, if Mad Dog could mount up there, it'd be an absolute dream.
It'd be an interesting situation to see how Mad Dog would go mounting up there, considering as soon as you open a burst up with an MG, you're going to get spotted.
100%.
Obviously, if you're in a position like Major Pains, you want to be able to take out as many as possible, but you do not want to completely open yourself up to let your location be known.
Exactly.
But it'd be a completely different fight if that OP was not where it is and up towards that long building. We draw some attention back up to the north side. It's pretty well, not much has progressed, but Beersheba's holding strong, and HFKT is trying their best to push through.
It's at this point, you probably want to see Watchmen again. I say this knowing that we can't see what's actually on the ground, but again, you'd like to see him pull out the massive numbers, and perhaps divert himself and another couple of guys up to AIF mine fleet, trying to provide some support from there. Though it does look like
exactly
he's got a
right.
machine gunner, good old Prowse, on there right now as well.
That was a fantastic rocket coming in from that HFKT anti-tank player.
That even scared me, mate.
That's the one. Another good rocket coming in.
This does seem to be the game, like gunfight wise. This looks like Beersheba is much more aggressive than HFKT are.
Much more aggressive. They have the positions that they need to currently hold this game and win. All they just need to do is just hold on. That's it.
Hold on. Let me say, Night Owl, first say it. Like, seeing this now, I didn't want to play this. I feel quite sad for HFKT.
Oh yeah,
guys.
for sure. Yep. Glad someone filled my spot. It's going to be interesting to see how this one pans out.
What I would like to see from HFKT is instead of
But that's a hard situation too to come up
Very,
against,
very
because
hard.
they don't really know how much there is, but it's open field. There's exactly no cover. The position that HFKT wants to be in to have any sort of effect on their side is the position that Samori is in. So it is a very difficult situation.
Sorry to interrupt, but Payne's squad has completely cleared this northern sector, getting rid of 2 OPs, forcing them to spawn back on the middle garrison.
And that's the thing, what they needed to... They've got the flanks secured, which is perfect. The middle squad is holding where they need to be. Obviously in a forward setup position, but it's where they need to be.
And now we'll just see the noose tightening for HFKT, it seems. Like losing...
It's good to see as well, is that the flanks are pushing in around to the main centre of the point. And the action just pushes them in more towards more corridored sections of kill box.
So, what are you here, Nighty? Say you're AIF watching. What are you saying to your squad right now? The guys are getting a little bit antsy, they're not seeing too much action. What are you saying to them?
In that situation, I would probably send potentially 2 people up to the ruined building that we see Tism on, and set up a position there. If you could get a builder up there and get him to set up some solid defences, I'd push the whole squad up to that position to hold. But really, that too, but it's not... You've essentially only got one wall to defend from, and even that is not a good position to try and defend from, because coming through that section, there's the main road, and then the side road that shoots off, which are good sections that you can lay down and throw accurate nades across to. It's just not a good place to try and solidly defend like you can where they're set up now.
Although Tyson is putting in work there on the roof, this with his Garand, taking down Candy Rocks.
That's it.
The medic goes down.
And Bot John's squad, a couple players there. Captain Jan Sparrow, he's pushing down and through, doing some
Very
work.
good player, Jan Sparrow is. Although,
That's it.
So
But it's good to see.
It's good. I think that's a very good position there.
That's a good position for where they're set up now, but any situation that they know they're getting pushed, and if I was Watchman, I'd be pulling back to the broken building behind, setting the OP up in there, or if not behind that hay bale. That's
very sneaky position there, very smart.
That's a good position. I'd call that a danger close OP. If that goes down, that is going to be a very how you going situation.
Lose 6 guys for a minute to 2 minutes.
That's it. Good to see HFKT effectively using the rockets. They've also got the MG set up where they need to be, and pouring in fire. They may not be killing people, but they're also putting in that suppressive and hopefully suppressing the AIF machine gunners.
Stop. It's almost like a backing track to his commentary. Samori's machine gun is just constantly firing.
He's found his position, he's dug in, and that's where he needs to be. You cannot really fault AIF for setting up where they have and how they're defending. But hats off to HFKT. It's an utter shit show trying to make any sort of traction out of where they're at now.
What do you think about the relative to his squad?
It's sort of a 50-50 win-lose situation. In the morals of the fact that he should be pushed up with his squad, but that information, you could say, is valuable coming in, but where the game is progressing right now, there are other spots that he can pull up to and set up.
One hay bale. That's 60-70 metres.
That's exactly right.
89 seconds, those guys aren't running.
You need to be inside the fight and actually seeing what's going on. HFKT are pushing out another couple guys out on the hard flank on Bot John's end, trying to probe the sides, see what they're doing, which is a good move. In their situation, I would be trying to probe the sides, probe every single attack angle you can to try and find some sort of traction.
I'm down here on ground level following Garrison Ford in particular, and it is just MG, 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 MG. See him always like, oh, there's movement, let's hose it.
That's it.
I really...
Just not the MG itself, it's also the AT player and the support player laying fire in with the submachine guns. That multiple submachine guns will make up for what an MG can.
Garrison Ford
That's exactly right.
Cheeky OP set up there. Might be nice. I say that.
But Panic's got
There he
eyes on him.
goes.
There's a
It's
headshot.
almost like I jinxed him.
That's a very smart play from Garrison 4 to try and ball his way up. If Panic would not have been there, got that OP set up and rallied his guys all at the same time to push in, it would have been very how you going.
But again, I don't understand here the staggered approach that HFKT seem to be doing. I do realise that they've tried to spearhead it and it's not worked. They've tried to go north side and it hasn't worked. They've tried to go south side a little bit. Just this scattered, erratic play doesn't seem like HFKT would know.
That's it. It's you can say from, and also agree with me on this perspective, as soon as your battle plan and any sort of situation is rattled, and as rattled is what they should be now, and what I'm assuming they are, it'd be all chaos on their side trying to work out where they need to go.
No plan survives contact with the enemy.
They are doing. That's it, and with Hell Let Loose in the game and the meta, it's an ever-evolving situation and how it's played.
Oh, that is definitely true. They're definitely true.
It's going to be, but hats off to them. They're doing extremely well for the situation that they've got. If they can repel the AIF attack that are coming for them right now, and then they can wipe those numbers, there could be a good opportunity for them to push themselves, as that they have the actual good position that's in that tree line.
So they've got just over 5 minutes left in this. So they've got 5 minutes to do their last push pretty much. Because we all know 2-minute pushes don't work. We've seen the previous game with AIF out of Maine versus HFKT. You've got to be organised to push now.
That's exactly right. You need to work out your numbers and push through, but oh, there goes a cheeky satchel.
Interesting. Satchel plays to say the least.
Yeah, must have thought someone was there, but regardless, good to see some sort of exciting noise going off. We see Watchman's squad. True, one of them would have got very cheeky. We see that some of Watchman's squad is actually pushing up to that broken building, which in that situation, Watchman he's just camping up in there with his binos out, actually checking. No, he's actually shooting. It's good. Payne's finally. Oh, thought Payne was off his little hay bale there for a second, but now he's back on it again. That's good if HFKT have realised he's there. If they can keep him off that bale, that might help him out tremendously.
Beersheba here.
That's it. As soon as you get held on those tree lines, you don't have as much free roam as what AIF currently have. And obviously, if you could stroll out there right now, you would be, but it's just absolute chaos.
This map is so favoured towards the Allies, it's so open. Just have a quick look behind. The Axis got here first, it would be the same thing we'd be saying now, but for the opposite side.
That's exactly right. And also to note that if that HFKT would have taken the point, AIF would have had an uphill battle coming up into those trenches, which is not a good situation to be in. And in fact of that, if AIF were going to be staging their attack from the little S trench and also that broken building, it would have been an easy position to try and overrun and take out those OPs.
HFKT were able to grab this northwestern house, the long house, from Major Payne's squad. Could have been an entirely different battle here.
That'd be instrumental in causing some sort of, battle change. But again too, fighting uphill on this map just does not go well for anyone. But if they were able to pull it off, hats off to them. And we noticed too that Major Payne squad has put up another triangle wall defense. This is a thing that I've first seen in an 18v18, and it seems to be working well for them.
Oh, it's just relentless. Even going back over to Bot John's squad, God, they pushed them almost back to the border already.
But note too that the AIF members are looking pretty thin. Obviously HFKT won't know that, but if they did, they'd be certainly going in for it.
Oh, he's still looking OP back there. Now 90, would you have moved it up by now? That's the question.
It's not a very good situation to try and move the OP up from there. The simple fact of that's the most amount of cover you're going to get from that barricades down to the next. And then you run into the issue is that it can be an easy location for one guy just to, take 5 minutes to crawl up there and go from there. But in saying 5 minutes, That's it. Do entice them apparently. But to essentially say the game's closing down, closing in on time,
Yeah,
so
we
it's
are
not going to be a
closing in on time.
very good situation.
Right, by my count, though my math is shoddy, so it may be hitting on that.
That's it. That's what happens when you go to school to eat your
We'll
lunch.
go to school to play sport and be a larrikin, mate.
Fair enough, mate.
He brags on it constantly. Let's see how he goes with it. Missing. Oh, yep.
Just the old tink 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 gun.
No. He went doof doof dink doof doof.
But overall, this has been a thoroughly
100%.
decent game
So
to
if you
watch.
were to take,
It's
if
been
you were to
very
take
biased
3
to the.
points away from this,
Go ahead.
both concerning both sides, what were the points you take away from this?
Definitely, whoever has control over that middle point is where it needs to be at. And as soon as you've got that
And
point,
that is the
you're in a
game
situation with
where
HFKT are that
coming over the comms.
that's it. What would be another point there, Fuzz?
I think I was right with HFKT here. I don't think they use their machine guns to the effectiveness that that AIF usually, sorry. Maybe due to lack of map position, but
The
that
situation-
is one clear advantage the Germans have, and I just feel they didn't use them as well as they could have.
That's for sure. The position was not very favourable to them as soon as they started getting pushed back. And as soon as a well-set-in MG that has been observing the map for however many minutes will have a better situation at trying to take out those new machine gunners that pop up along those lines. But otherwise, we got a third point, Mr. Fuzz.
One that I'd like to hit on here is just building structures. This is something again, as a representative from LMA, something that I didn't even think of. I thought this game would be too fast-paced to build structures, but if you can get yourself in a position like we see with
That's it.
like John over there, building a total of 4 barricades, or HFKT's also with Mugshot building 2 more. That can be quite instrumental.
That's definitely it. AIF were able to get down the substantial more bunkers because they had map control. HFKT did their best in trying to get down those 2 walls that were put up at that broken building pushing up to Southern, but because they got overrun so quickly there was just no time for them to get anything else down. And in a situation like that, you have to coordinate 2 guys to try and get supplies down and build that wall up, which is not a good situation to be in. But overall, hats off to AIF, and also massive hats off to HFKT. It was very well played for the situation that they were dealt.
Best teams, arguably in the OCE region, because they participated in the 18v18, and they the 1 and 2 teams.
That's exactly right. It's great to see that the community in OCE can come together for a quick little Blitzkrieg tournament like this.
Yep.
But otherwise, hats off to everyone.
Any closing words from yourself,
and thank
Mike?
you for playing. No, it was very good to see that 2 clans and another team can come together and have a crack at trying to play for the grand position if they would have won.
No, I'd just
otherwise,
like to
any
thank
points from you,
everyone who
Fuzz?
played, and especially AIF for setting up this tournament. I think it was quite successful. So that's it
exactly
from us.
right.
I hope you enjoyed it, and this will be available shortly on our YouTube channel. AIF, is it AIF or Allied Imperial Forces?
No, it won't.
Yeah.
Could be Allied Imperial Forces or AIF, but either way, you'll see it come up there.
Yeah,
So
thank you for
otherwise,
joining us.
guys, we'll catch you on the next one.
Ooh.
See yous.